Google. Let's go get him again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host Mark, and welcome to an unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Histoires de Parfums, and this one we're finally finishing up the trifecta from Histoires de Parfums. This one from the brand or the line of Éditions Rares. This one called Pétroleum. Now I have Rosum and Ambrarem right here, and this goes back to my trip to New York City in, I believe, early 2011 or late 2011, early 2012. This set holds a special part of my journey because when I went to New York City to see my fragrance friends, this was a scent that stood out to me. It was actually the very first fragrance that stood out to me immediately in the shop with their silver bullet bottles. Once I saw the names, I immediately delved into Pétroleum, testing that. From what I recall, it wasn't petroleum enough, we'll say. It wasn't what the name felt like. And again, this was in a shop. I was with fragrance friends. I was going quickly, but that's my thought process on Pétroleum. And basically I set my sights on Ambrarem, and because I love ambers, and at that time I was delving more into ambers, and I fell in love with it, bought a bottle immediately, you know, didn't even put it on my skin. Strip, done, let's go. So it was sprayed on a strip and that was it. And I didn't even sniff Rosum. Basically I went from here, I went, it's not as, you know, I thought maybe an oily thing or something a little crazy. It wasn't. And then I went to this, and this just blew my socks off. Still does to this day. That New York trip was awesome. I got leather oud, I got this. I got a whole bunch, like I got Acier Aluminum from Creed. I got a whole bunch. I got Frédéric Malle. So I spent a lot of money back then. But yeah, this one, basically what happened now is, you know, I had Ambrarem for 10 plus years. Rosum comes on sales once in a while at discounters. You can find these for under $100 if you do your research. I've seen it several times, passed on it because this was the one I really wanted. I never got it. And then recently I just got Rosum. I just said, finally I got it. So I got this one, and this one eluded me. In North America, this thing is not being sold anywhere. I'll be honest. It's not anywhere. You'd almost think this thing is discontinued actually, but I believe in Europe she's still alive and well, still selling apparently. Pétroleum, I actually went on YouTube just to see how many reviews there is. There's less than 3 reviews on it on the tube, which makes all kinds of sense, basically, just because it's so hard to find in North America and all that. So perhaps my anticipation on this one may be for my own personal experience with the line and not the actual scent being awesome. I'm happy to add to the reviews on YouTube. As you know, I prefer fragrance reviews on fragrances that not a lot of people are talking about. But 12 years later now, finally it's in my clutches. Finally I'm going to sniff it again. To note, I don't recall what it smelled like. It was just the initial disappointment that it wasn't Pétroleum enough. The notes in here are oud, aldehydes, bergamot, rose amber, white musk, civet, leather, and patchouli. So the note breakdown's kind of sexy actually. You know, you got civet, you got leather, you got oud, you got amber. And you know, my thought process is Rosum's actually, you know, it pulls a little bit of Ambrarem, and I feel like this one's going to pull a little bit of Ambrarem too. So there really is a collection, and they have their correlations to each other. So I can't wait to do it. Again, it was released that year in 2011. So let's finally unbox this. I've had this in my collection sitting and collecting dust for a while now. So I'm happy to finally add this to my collection. And let's see. I'm trying to remember how to open these boxes. I think they were sideways. Yeah, they were. So let's see. Okay. And there it is. The trifecta is there. And it does have brown juice. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see. Is that on? Yeah, it is. So it's the second boldest as far as coloration goes. It's always a good thing. And we'll put box here. I got my strip here, so we're gonna go on strip first and see what I get. And going full circle. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? You know, the initial hit is like a aldehydic floor, like the aldehydes come out. But there's a dusty, dare I say, almost chocolatey, citrusy thing going on here. But there's a dustiness. There's definitely a medicinal aspect here. Wow, a lot darker than I thought. A lot better than I remembered. But again, that was, oh yeah, okay. So, okay, I'm wearing nothing today. So let's delve into it. So it's a little more daring on the strip than I remembered in NYC. So let's sniff this thing out. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gorgeous. I can't believe it took this long. So, and again, like it's, you know, YouTube and the fragrance realm and everything, it's just, you know, you only got a couple reviews on this thing, you know, long forgotten. I know it's an older piece, and I know it's a fragrance that you have, like I had a hard time finding, and I'm really good at, I'm super patient. You know, there's a certain recipe in my head as far as worth of fragrances, and I take my time, and you know, this one was absolutely rare. The price I paid, I think I got this on Fragrance Net. It just popped up randomly on Fragrance Net, and it was, I think, retail. So there's you know what I really like about this right now is that it's complex. There's a ozonic, floral, slightly citrusy thing going on. And then there's this dusty, do I want to say earthy? Earthy mineral aspect to this. And there's a little bit of a ambery glow in the background, not as much as Ambrarem, of course, but there's a little bit of that. So I could see, and it's almost bringing me back to when I was in New York City. I could see why through the strip, through a lot of testing and my nose going through a lot of things and going really quickly, I didn't give this the time of day, because if you're doing a quick assessment of these, I could see why Ambrarem would come out on top, because it's, the darkness is right front and center. But this has, ooh, it has almost like a slightly leathery touch in here. The leather's coming out a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it has that dusty, oh, I love that. Okay, so Pétroleum, no, I don't see, yeah, I don't see a gasoline vibe here. I don't see that. That's not my thought process here. It really goes into the, man, it's tippy-toeing into the 80s type of thing, right? You got that old school rose, you have that aldehydes, you have the bergamot, but you also have oud and leather and patchouli in here. This is really, really nice. Really nice. I really, it's not an all-star like Ambrarem, I'll be honest. That is an all-star through and through, the best of the bunch. Rosem's really good. I feel like Rosem's the third wheel now, and I thought Rosem was actually surprisingly good, and this is, again, surprisingly, and I think I came into this unboxing really just going, okay, I was disappointed in the store. So I wasn't expecting a lot of those bigger notes to come through. I thought I was gonna get some rose, some aldehydes, the bergamot, and maybe some white musk going through, but nothing like this. Mineral, ozonic and mineral, it's almost, but there's an ambery glow, there's a little, I don't want to say animalics because there's civet in here, but it's very tame, but I can sense it in this opening that it might come out on the dry down. Definitely doesn't smell like petroleum, but it has that leathery, balmy, ambery tone with a mineral, aldehydic. Almost, the bergamot has a little bit of that thinness in here. But that dustiness of the oud. Okay, so surprising. That's the word. Oh. Ooh, very orange on here. In color, like a rusty. Definitely different. Yeah. I'm getting more of an animalic tinge here. This is more ambery, resinous. So, see you later. Okay, so petroleum. Man, I was not expecting you to be as good as this. Honestly, the lack of reviews, unfortunately, is probably because of access. Not a lot of people have availability of this. This one's definitely worth a sniff. And you know what I love about it? It gives me two different sides to the coin. It has a ozonic, light, floral thing going on, but there's some darkness rumbling behind it. And the amber is very familiar. It's very small, and it is pulling a little bit from Ambrarem, but it's there, and there's a dusty oud coming through. And yeah, there's a mineral feel to the fragrance. Very interesting. So petroleum, hey, you know what? I'm considering this a good blind buy, and I know I probably shouldn't consider it blind buy, but really, you know, going through a strip, you know, going from a couple strips here, smelling that, smelling this, and going, oh, this is so much better, and buying that one. That quick, I feel like this is a blind buy, especially with the years going by. Kind of kicking myself that I didn't have this in my collection for all those years. And what I really appreciate, again, is the complexity of this. Really great stuff. I'm giving out different vibes. Really interesting stuff. Can't wait to delve more into it. Scent day today. Once the camera's off, I think I'm gonna double dip here and I'm gonna apply again and remind me of this introduction. But I can't wait to see the transition of this. It really is playing both sides of the coin, that I feel like this is just enough daringness that you can wear it in the spring. There's a lot of that floral aspect, that aldehyde, freshness, ozonic, but then there's a mineral quality, kind of like, I don't want to say Talbot Mez, but like a mineral quality that makes it really good for spring. But for a frag head like me that really likes darker notes, like my ambers, my leathers, the civets, and the oud and all that in this fragrance, they're so tame, at least now, but they're there just enough to pique my interest. Oh, this is a good one. Good, good, good. So now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. I know a lot of you haven't smelt this fragrance. It is just like the name says, édition rare. It is rare. It is almost like one of those unicorns that you can't find anywhere, but my European friends are like, what are you talking about? This thing's all over the place. North America, I've been everywhere. Like I've been everywhere as far as trying to find this on eBay, trying to find this at little niche stores in the United States, Canada, even the big stores that, you know, do supply Histoires de Parfums. It's a hard one to find. So I'm really happy, and I can't wait to see the comments. And again, this is a brand that's not fairly new to me. I own 6, 7 bottles for the brand now, seven or 8. I'm always intrigued, and to my subscribers, you guys, I love you all. Let me know, you know, some that I should be checking out. I do have a couple more unboxings. I think I bought Noir Patchouli, another blind buy, and 17 something, 1740, I think. So I got 2 more to unbox from the brand. Excellent brand. So I want to delve more into them. Now, as always, a great import fragrance will make a lasting impression. Jeez, choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.